Hup! Time to pay some bills. Yo! Oh! What's good, everybody? Whoo! Haven't seen this guy here in a long time. His name is Mad Ox. You got to remember, I think, last quarantine? Was it last year? I think he did last year, too. But, man, he was spamming us some good videos about stats and statistics and things like that. He's finally back. He got a video called Flight Reacts is the Teammate You Want. Let's get to the video.
What if I told you that arguably the best basketball player is the best team?
No one would never dunk on me like this. Never. That's just me. When they got to talk about being about flight.
You can have. I'm talking about someone who recently put up nearly 40 shots in a game and still lost. Someone whose 1v1 record is so far in the negatives, there's no coming back. What would you say if I picked him up first? You'd probably call me crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is Flight Reacts. He is well known as one of the worst 1v1 basketball players on YouTube. This is no secret, however, I believe Flight is one of the best teammates you can have in a 5v5 setting.
Alright, before you get to the stats, I'm gonna be real with y'all, alright? If you gotta go look at old videos, me and Flight actually played on teams several times. Flight was never a bad teammate. He never was a bad teammate. I actually would pick him over Kenny. Like we like I'll pick him over Kenny, Gio. I don't know what to compare it to, but I'm just saying, bro, Flight was never that bad of a teammate. I'm being real. Being real, y'all. He never was bad at all. But man, he trashed the 1v1s.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and I know it's been a while, but here I am, I'm back. Now this is a video I've been wanting to make for a while now, and with the two recent
Flight haven't won one June game yet.
Well, I figured now
look at him.
in this video I'm making the argument that Flight is someone that you want on your team, and I'm asking the question, is he the ultimate teammate? When we're talking about basketball, I think the best teammate of
Man, I'm telling you, I have not practiced at all, y'all. I haven't got no shots up or nothing, y'all. Me and Flight, we play tomorrow, bro. I haven't got no shots up or nothing, y'all. Like, I'm that confident, bro. Like,
the ultimate teammate. When we're talking about team basketball,
look how he rebounded the ball. Nobody trying to get the thing from me, bro.
Teammates cover a few things, and ultimately I've broken those down into 4 main categories. We have attitude, effort, engaged, and role. 4 categories that I believe Flight excels at in a team setting.
Facts.
Let's start with attitude. This is pretty much self-explanatory, but it's important. I want you to think. In a team setting, have you ever seen Flight with a negative attitude on the court?
Never.
How about bad attitudes
Never.
towards his opponents? More importantly, his teammates? No. Now, I don't know if it's the weed he's smoking, but Flight is generally good at staying positive. Now, yes, he gets competitive and tries to argue foul calls, and also gets mad when he misses certain shots. But it's important to not confuse a winning and competitive attitude with a negative attitude. The fact that he's passionate about the game and always wants to win is something we have to respect. And that's the kind of teammate you want to have.
See that flip?
Now let's move on to effort. I don't really have much to say about this one, but the most important thing to note is that Flight excels at this category. If you watch him, you know that Flight doesn't quit in his 1v1s. He could be down 11 zip and will still give it his all.
And that's one thing I respect and I love to play with. Because there's many people I have played with that would just, if they down so bad, like, bro, even my close friend Malcolm, I've had times with him when his shot is off, he would just like start lollygagging like, and I gotta pick him back up like, bro, just keep shooting, bro. Like Flight, he don't need that. He just, and I like that.
The same effort is shown when he's playing on a team. One thing is for certain.
You can't get mad at effort, bro.
On your team, you know he's going to give it his all, no matter what the score is.
Get him out.
So moving on to the next category, we have engaged. I equate being engaged on the basketball court to having a high basketball IQ, having the ability to instinctively play the game and adapt to having a high basketball IQ, having the ability to instinctively play the game and adapt to situations that come up, making decisions at the right time, and always being ready. This would describe being engaged on the court. So with all that being said, in team games, Flight is always engaged. And I would say that he has a decently high IQ. When he's off ball, he's very good at picking the right times to cut to the basket, which most of the time leads to a free layup.
Bro, facts! Bro, why you putting on the video, bro, when me and him play against McQueen and Kenny? Bro, you should have put them highlights on there, bro. Like, he's right about Flight by this. He's right. He got a good IQ, like, to score. Like, you know, to get open at the right time, passing, too. I never put down his teammate skills, bro.
He also makes quick thinking passes to open teammates.
What? When the hell this happened? What?
If he notices that someone has a mismatch in the post, he'll feed him.
Yeah.
In transition, he's always running the floor, which leads to easy baskets. So these are just a few examples of Flight being engaged on the court. I know this sounds crazy, but when Flight has the ball, he often makes the right basketball play. And that's what it's all about. And on that same vein, we have the final category, which is role. A good teammate knows their role and buys into it. It's about being the best you can be at your job.
Facts.
As much as Flight probably wants to be, he's not the leading scorer on a team. That's just not his role. But I think he's aware of this, considering he only averages about 7 shots a game when he's on a team, and we'll get more into numbers later. But if you ask me...
He does, bro. When me and Flight play, bro, every time I go in the paint, bro, I got mismatch, he pass me the ball, bro. Even if I'm on fire, bro, he gonna keep passing to you, bro. Like, yeah. I can't...
He fits more of a
facts.
role, and he'll get you an occasional 3 if he's left open. I believe that Flight playing in this role gives his teams the best chances of winning. So that's all 4 categories, and yes, I think Flight excels at all 4. Let me know what y'all think down below. So we've discussed how Flight is a great teammate, but this wouldn't be a classic Maddox video if I didn't show some stats. So let's take a look at Flight's efficiency in team games when we compare them to his 1v1s.
Flight always said 1v1s would be he get exposed of how bad he is 1v1 now. He haven't won one game his whole June.
Just a few things before we get into it. So Flight started uploading 1v1s again in May, and he's played 7 since then, at the time of making this video. So I've calculated those 7. He's also played 4 team games, 3 in LSK's video, and then the Chris White video, the 3v3. But when I was calculating his numbers, I also went ahead and threw in his most recent team game before this year, and that was the 3v3 he played with T-Jazz and Sergio. So the main thing I wanted to compare here are Flight's efficiency numbers when it comes to shooting. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. In his recent 1v1s, you can see that Flight took an average of 22 shots a game and only made a little over 5.5. And he also took almost 11 threes a game and only made around 2 of them.
Boy! This is trash! Pathetic stats right here, Flight.
So you're probably looking at this and thinking, yeah, these numbers aren't the best. Definitely not efficient.
Damn right, the best, they the worst!
I don't think there's much of an argument there, but check this out. In the 5 team games that I calculated, Flight shot attempts are cut to a third of his 1v1 shots, which is obvious because in 1v1s he's by himself and he's taking all the shots. But the important thing to look at here are his percentages and how they compare. You can see his 3-point percentage is raised by 6%, which honestly for Flight, I feel like is a decent improvement. But the big story here is his overall field goal percentage, which is raised by 16%, making it a 41. Which in team basketball, I feel like that's respectable.
That is, bro. It just showing that I mean, team ball, bro. He know his role. You know what I mean? He not a Stephen Curry out that way in his mind sometimes. But you know, he all depends what type of weed he's smoking. Smoking sativa or indica, man. You know, when he's in indica, he's in his head. He starts doing stupid shit. When he smoking sativa, he's okay. You know, but bro, this just shows, bro. Like team, he's a good teammate.
And of course, if you're wondering where I got these numbers from, here you go. You can pause the video if you want to take a better look at it. And just because these are fun to look at, there's a couple things I want to point out and talk about. This has nothing to do with the topic of the video, I just think it's cool to look at these things. So the first thing I want to point out, remember earlier in the video when I said Flight took about 40 shots in a game and still lost?
Bro, look at this dude, 3-point percentage. Bro, this is horrific, bro. I can't wait to see mine. Maddox, come on, bro. Where mine at, bro?
Well, that was the game against Kenny Chow. As you can see, he put up 37 shots, which, yes,
that's a lot of shots.
Amount. He only made 8 of them, and yeah, he lost that game. Another thing I found interesting is the maximum amount of shots in a game that Flight has taken in these last 5 team games that he's played has only been 12. And that was the Chris White 3v3. But as you can see, the amount of shots he takes in his team games are significantly lower. And that goes back to my point about Flight playing his role as the playmaker. So there we have it. Shout out to Flight for being a great teammate. Believe it or not, he is definitely someone that I would pick up. And we can't ignore the fact that he's much more efficient in team games compared to his 1v1s. So,
and you know what? I think Kenny is ass in team games and better in 1v1s. That's what's crazy. And for myself, I think I'm better. I think in team games, I don't think I lost a team game this year. Yeah, I think just one. Probably just overall, I don't know, bro. Obviously, your field goal percentage is going to be better in team game. Leave that in the comments, bro. What do you guys feel like? You guys feel like I'm better 1v1 or team player? When I say 1v1, I ain't talking about collectively everybody that I have played. I got my plus and minus is plus by a lot. You know, throughout my career, y'all. I'm just keeping it true, bro. You know, no hands in the comment. You win by luck. I hate you. You just throw the ball. Just no, be realistic here, all right, y'all. All right. Leave that in the comments right here. Everybody! Wait.
shout out to him for that as well. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you
shout out to Maddox. Yay!